party mistakes say yeah opposing candidates the elections were free and fair candidates for Naji to say resources by Obi said all kind of committee ayatia era Michael Krimodam say or more be probu further to find out what really happened. But on top of my head, one major challenger if you see the parliamentary candidates no. And they say in elections beyond it's either say presidential candidate no any fully parliamentary candidates no and I say parliamentary candidates no any fully presidential candidates no. But this time around it was weird. It broke all known principles historical analysis be a to the extent say apathia a bear in this year's elections it affected both the presidential and the parliamentary. If we say nipano one soya nkoto aba one ebia kokoya ko beto ama presidential na nkoto atia parliamentary no or oba koto ama ni mienu into ankoto a it affects both. And we ask ourselves in some constituencies we knew the parliamentary candidates were very popular. Bebu ha unim say ukumana parliamentary candidate we you know ti yenim say bebu we were not going to win the presidential, but we were very sure say parliamentary na there e be win. Obi again we apathia a course or if you are party bia or abemu biano aban enhye whether positive or negative it affects you in elections. Yes. Osha Juma era former President Kufuor or Memoir, there's no doubt say in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of projects there, the Akasi Kanya, a bit more Kanya in reader. But I've also come to realize that Ghana elections, no, it's not just about
any projects in
infrastructure. Bebu or infrastructure no kwa oye no, ebi anipa no the name here mo pa na infrastructure. And a bebu or infrastructure no don sakwa kan but went me anwi.
Yes, yankofo abufu.
Ebu no so ho. And ebu ha policies bebre a ebi abane ye o share even contractors are we di bimuka o share maybe to say youth in afforestation.
Yes.
Omo ana ye do omoka oba sanitation model under why over 40,000 beneficiaries na be 8 months 10 months intimately omoka offer school feeding complaining concerns are neighbor. And unfortunately for us no these interventions need programs no employ thousands of people. Youth afforestation can be 60,000 70,000 the school feeding and map 40,000 why you 45,000. It is imagine say some kofu no contractors or more conform more buofua. You are talking about in excess of about 200,000 people.
Our dependents.
Almost dependents are almost do much.
But no, didn't the party know? Namunim. And for example, for more I say, okay, then maybe we had a weak party and intimate standing up to the executive. Was another party in Nima. And until general secretary and chairman, we are observers for cabinet. You should tell cabinet, say, ja, my dear, we are more con. This is the feedback I hear for more.
Hey, Obi. Cabinet in common, you find trouble.
Yes, I know.
And see, it is normal for people to assume say ABR multi-man council, but it is never true. On several occasions, on several platforms, there be a BCBN. In fact, the finance minister then knew. Obianim said, "Some projects need some interventions. We needed to find money and pay." But Sahoche ne siskasem ne wo nyina they all knew. And say baby. So it's not like say obi anka wansem. E one na mo ye 2 year ye kan wansem nya nko a. Oye nufuru a Osha DDP,
domestic death no, yeah, DDEP.
Buyer. We all spoke about it, but now a man's could do baby and now which says so are buying so. But again, it affected some families. Until they are say you be a ne mammy, ne papa, ni nyabi, 8 million, sir, or one which we say, you know. Certain people that's what my trouble or better to go to my 20. It is a challenge, of course, you know, or share. Edu baby crying, I had to even come out.
I remember on your friend is saying reshuffle, no, Oba out on the issues of reshuffle, and you are saying from any interview, it's challenges are party for people now identify say okay, a buying policies be and a high and you are repeat be the party I forming a buying no. And more managers of the party, no, much in a buying agency so on several occasions, but response anamo pena arma. That's what you're saying.
Okay. A typical example is the about reshuffle.
Yes.
Reshuffle was now spoken about it in cabinet. But a Jew baby now, who say more din. Sabi, who a penny and then saying yana bit my babu on Tabaka. But in same also putting the babu on Timbeka. Because a normal obi be na in nim el cosuna, if you can about Tiaka party bubu. How you manage it, but also when you have to come out and speak, you speak about it. Because me casting a Thanksgiving service be near your party office, and a man make a car reshuffle from Wassa. Because now I felt said, Ubuha, what's not I swear back, be 3 years, 4 years, 6 years, 7 years. And at the point, you know, people became so comfortable. Say when you say you need to be and at times so and I say be a nipakona we in a from obiabano obey nkonya bi ho but I think the mere fact say new face crano about crano will energize the base. It is how normal way nyina na ya dey course so a you can wasem 11 me kai na be mo peace FM enya kan wasem. So people should not assume say be a assembly buy be a bibi should say buy no party na kan wasem.
And the allegation or the claim said in the face of an overarching and I say we executive are powerful no more party national officers no now we weak into more intimidating holding mu own against the executive led by the president.
The party was never weak because the say can was by the end of the day no party no any party no your appointment.
Yes, that's true.
Wait much because then the authority rests with the president. Ebia de who knows no so ehun sa. Eto obetimi aka chance obey ne obey every party. At least we kept on drumming and hammering on issues a be affect party. It is a normal a massa no ebufu ba ye de say kan wasem kan. But don't also take it away, say, apart from say issues concerning complaints about no, abansu yejuma. And they won't mean can say, oh, bonnet but there are certain petty things we will have a young crofo. And maybe I may think say, yejuma more pen, may ye choir mammo, me free education, yejuma, schools, yejuma. But just like I said earlier on, it goes beyond infrastructure
projects, you know.
Then, attitude of some appointees. Again, I spoke about it. Abraham call Bruno Regional. Me call Toa. Me picking up feedback from constituencies now. Me bisam Mohano appointees be send ho moto omonka baby omonto omonka me call Ashanti me call East me na ma me call Banyina no. I caution appointees. I raise those issues. Say, the more you are losing touch with the base. Party na sabi, ye juma buama abane buy no. Will be real film. Say a party no, and a mamo eti be a motisi. To the extent say, party members in Troko, you call appointee or Boko we is winning. Obi so on fact. okohwehwe obi a wunya opportunity kwa obepen kwa wunya. All these issues are normal affect elections are going.
But all of these appointees, no, some of them were also parliamentary. And I remember Oko Sunyane, the statement you made, and I think we have a Facebook post, and I read that post. Say Sunyane West Sunyane is the Uhu of Formano. It seems the PCs no have lost touch with the people there. These are parliamentary candidates who are running on the ticket of the party our general secretary of. It beyond say we make his observation. No? What else did you do? Because at the time, no, na enya executive bit me call you you the party. They were running on your ticket. If
you say a brave kobaya, many do na kasayan. Some took steps and can parliamentary candidate. Ibu okono mu consensus. And me can was some yes I call cabinet can raise the issue up. Ibu okame boom with so also won call consensus. Consensus for some montoka. So more fair on fact. At the elections, no person will lose and some person become. And some of them started moving to their constituencies. But as to say no, if it was too late or not, any results are. And
at that point, no one to mean change you be
at that point why that time be not change you. I found out better very fresh elections. Until at point I said you raise issues in Yan. Obi, we raise all those issues. But election there, as we always say, success has many failures, and failure is an offer. Say by ni wini ya kebi ankofo rube fi kwase bi na appointees bi kwa from or monfa and I say bi MPs bi ankoyo madwuma. Ba ko basan there. Certainly it is understandable. Say ebufu bo system num enkofo be tramadwen enkofo be kasa etiam sa no manya. It's something as a party, as a leader in the party, no, we accept it. Say inya akadwuma no because ekanyumunya ne ba ebobodi. Nti say bibi hwa nkoya, you should be ready to accept all criticisms and you've taken all of them in good faith.
And when it's still on parliamentary, you know, your win in 2021 and obey general secretary 2022 na quite historic because you were at the time the youngest to ascend the throne as the general secretary, and party for no hopes amount say the least they expected is for the party to maintain a majority in parliament. What has happened again, the defeat is historic. Is it fair for anyone to say this should be part of your legacy as the youngest general secretary for the NPP? Fair?
Obi. So, Osha ni so keke. Na kase bia. Ye koto abano from the bia ni okro. Ye sit as Swati. Yes, you can make assumptions. Oh, and there could be a time, and a seat so tier. But the question is, does it solve problems now? Any issues pa my Lucy does it solve it? Sure, Obi, elections is a process. Every process beyond determines your final outcome.
Yes.
Ebra may be a general secretary or party. Obi, it is also a record say yenya general secretary bia since 1992 obey a general secretary oko 3 by-elections in less than 2 years. Start here May 2023 Kumawu by-elections. If you Kumawu by-elections May, June, and your call Asenov by-election 2023. And now it's our call by-election where you so 2024. We is our by-elections training everywhere. As a party, sad time they been see that say you been am Russia be for our parliament. Ebe sorry. Say your finance minister wo Yempeno won't call. At that point, no Sasha 2023 now so na ya start here yeah presidential primaries yes I parliamentary primaries it will be wo share the huge taxa na woman so as general secretary of a party awaba in less than 2 years. All these things are happening in the party. Now obi wo share yan kanka yako kumawu by elections challenges and you go through as a party. Your supporters cry in nim say omo party for omo so mkoto aba no
even at the by-election
even at by-elections it happened the same in Ase North. It happened the same in Ejuso crowd there NDC uncontested, but we had an independent candidate Ora also Jumia no free. I even struggled to win at Ejuso. Why? Then Jeffrey said foundation and a crap partner a year the friend polling station structure or polling station executives no. People have so many concerns and reservations about it. Kuma o campaign and moya born ye dear film man for young cajon and a macofan the pack a crab no mabeye and see ye to abano. I just saw the same thing and I yelko and uncle for a month to Kumo a do with question. Obi, but you also admit, say, time me a to about mamma semi be general secretary, me bano. No police station less than that. So if the foundation was weak or was not proper, we were just to work with it. And now I am one of the major causes affecting the parliamentary elections.
And the apathy nearby.
I know now a apathy account. One of the major contributing factors are a cause for elections. Because Ebra, ye voter audit to find out your call for or more polling stations or metro to Abama. Ye plenty out boy the map constituencies and so koyo hwadwuma. Ebientinanye because in some constituencies crowd be also your polling station executive county constituency one polling station. Ebu okra nipa ko multi polling station kwa woni mom. And it's a whole campaign. Now, we base as a campaign is a retail campaign, a former Juma. Now, Nipana said, BS will do a new crowd campaign work for Mokrano. One tick polling station where 12 for Nim for Motua. Then it tells you have a serious challenge as a party. And you say, Yanina, Casa no mana. Make last week, constituency for this near discuss it, structure now or issues a see or elections. Obi admit say na at the end the interest in say be winning constituency elections no. The pakro no ye show obi a obaba beto abama ye te minim say obi polling station akwa wontia. Na so minim say obi be ye polling station delegate na so be delegate obeto abama me. And people genuinely admit say it is one of the contributing factors affect here. Obi say we enu free one major challenge that facing election was the tripod. The cat tripod, the relationship between the parliamentary candidate,
the DC, and the constituency
executive or chairperson. In most cases, places baby I'm a time I did a campaign, I spend most time doing reconciliation.
That is after even
parliamentary primaries now. So one the first challenge, we structure no crowd they call here Juma police station structure many places
not issues
campaign team no crowd say wo na be a tripod no measure aye Juma ni nyina so baby wo ha MC any candidate no problem be a chairman so no way or problem and say the tripod now come make cabo mobile Juma in some instances na Juma and also everywhere. We are against an opposition party who were more angrier and hungrier than ye. Because what's opposition 8 years? And it's an the only motivation one say obeying when you juma among the party aden about them. The such a person all catch and say sorry quiet juma. Musa say then are the mammy. That's what Musa say me quiet then a free. Unfortunate for and at first they be an a party be our bembian NPP and this. Because over them 8 years. You can't keep on promising say
when you have power no
juma na you win a besho win. What ya ban so? It in certain places and for come so mutu musi or cry a quiet juma. Or complaining say me party by cry no. Me banya juma. Be in your juma. Me pay juma, the juma e basa. A quiet juma 2016, 2020 no. Me nyashi. Two full because of Mrakra. Will be at the point so how many paconis can on campaign.
Na minyashi no enye party na was say resolve these issues the man.
You see, it's a challenge that affects every incumbent government. Obi no cross woman say even if it is 8 years, even if it's 12 years, won't even satisfy Obia.
Yes.
Or party. The general public Ghana for the sure so baby be there more money. Now we are in this for year. What problems I started by even within now we are the 1 month ago. And before started complaining and I even programs one frame and I will mark and I propositions we it affects the idea is how you manage it. And I did do also from 2016 2017 we near year benino. And do you know what I did? The Bayer General Secretary na yet campaign team no. I make sure say as part of the mandate for first and second vice for say among share disgruntled party members are omobuofu omo party no enkankampo bu a party bi a oyare dadam kra obi a ohia mo bi kra yantimi ambo am. Let's try and reach out to all of them to motivate them. Later Accra especially personally I was involved and make sure say no more yes adwuma. But at the point no career sources like a bit media yes adwuma ni nyina no yentimi anya ni nyina because a normal na me hu no normal na me nim se betimi asi no Obi, it's not like say be I slept on the job. The next say me raising red flag, the can wasem. The say me 200 more, and say we bet mama party aba, we bet mama issues aba, and yen try na yen solve side issue no. But Obi adi ebisi no, ni bisi. Adia ni bisi. If you say emponi pa kra wo de ora show mumu kra so metna sa koye adwuma kra, e bi koso kran no asasan. At the point we became so angry and bitter among ourselves as a party say the padabe yin akoye adwuma na akoye complaints ana obi anya bi me de me nya hwe ana obi akoye si ana we akoye si, and these are all multifaceted issues are affecting party no. It is a osha adwuma e course nyina ne sa okeka we nyina bom aban no policies be attitude of some of the government appointees who share your polling station structure no more course. The most importantly also critical. Obi Ghana Rebecca say assembly elections are non-political, but in reality it is political.
Yes.
Osha after assembly elections no baby obeshe NPP for me you know makasa ba kunsi from ema ba kon contest obi so monte ase bebu also mo nya beko bebu abehwe vote o me ni nyan no behwe na NDC na akofam akọ wini wo. And Obi me guso a me analysis of assembly elections in relation to the seats that we lost. Obi, there are about 70 seats we lost or we could have won. I ain't me winning because of say we lost the assembly elections.
Assembly elections in those constituencies.
And will be chance cast assembly election, not political party.
Yeah, but unims assembly elections here political, are critical to whether you win or lose. No, as national executive, not most strategy for the assembly elections.
You see, again, the constituency party and no more will also once again admit say, in terms of supporter, you do as sir, you call for himself, me NPP from corporate assembly elections. No. Obi on record, that.
Really?
Oh, yes.
And the result didn't go in your favor.
Make it say I dare no. Na menga ni name say BBC because in terms of nipa mafem, in terms of skafem, in terms of bia eso ye bia no komo eso no mudi oni say kwase nipa no obonsa mo pro makoma. Bebi wo ha say obi oni ni pagena secretary ko tsan meeting mu. Oni ni panic chance kasa obi jai ma wenko gina omu mmiri mo kwa mmiri su o ka yate o da na omu anu masa twa mo ye befufo and so obi sa no ma we nyina no tend to affect your party no your ho aboboa na ye for the 2024 elections.
Meaning, sir, from listening to you, no, I get the feeling, sir, as the chief administrator of the party, no, you were from the other way who the na akoso any problems and now wababi who take it over, no. As far as you were concerned, it was a difficult election for you to win. Now, unim, you came to that realization and said, elections ready a bad day.
Obi, and I said it on several meetings and platforms. So, one, that 8 years rule no in itself no crime is a major challenge.
Yes.
Because now we share from 92 Benino 8 years we were making attempts say we would change that precedent for the first time. That crime on its own was a tall order. But Sebi, records are made and records are also broken. But we also sure say we can change the narrative and make history. We knew it was going to be a very difficult challenge. But normal it means who we identifying as a party from polling station, Eba electoral area, Eba constituency, Eba region, Eba national, Eba yinano. Say we won't mean kase national chairman, general secretary. One more lose elections. No. See, you can't from polling station, Eba electoral, Eba constituency.
Leaders in their own right.
Yeah, should resign. Because Sebi, when your constituency officer, yeah, Abo, when say Obi, one take polling station, when say Obi, we took our winning. But because of say be a person be polling station executive inti, constituency executive no I share high. I'm a nipa na ba be she polling station abo no. You do say be audit no, we ni conform ho. And say you lose ya, that's say conform bufu say ebia obi where you me dey free abo no ntimi nkoto aba. And no who do you blame? You blame national. 2. I made emphasis on assembly elections. Say assembly elections. O she baby lose and call for me some ko gina jai. Gina second kwa be catch so jai. Also what or dan no ho so there be untie. No akogina. You lose assembly elections no. Now affected party now. You come back and blame Gina secretary. To the extent say Obi, your party for omo ha ebi kwa nkoto aba.
In the general elections.
In the general elections. Ebi kwa dey be to kwan.
A party executive.
No, executive. It can be executive can be member. Members, it can be sympathizers, and all whatever name you want to ascribe to it. Then one night so one then the party loses. They come back and blame and say national executive should resign. Now one kotuaban. Now person hand the kotuaban.
And you are saying that the call say national executives now resign a unfair call.
To me, that is not the solution to the problems I come. Yes, Ubetimaka say we are all not happy about the results. In any case, party constitution is very clear. Say you're two about you're two executive for 4 years.
For 4 years.
It is a 4 years no eso. Now if you say bia oh assume say adwuma wo ye no wanye ni yi nti entuntiana at the right time no at the National Delegate Conference or Congress no. So you have that opportunity to vote against that person. Or the party ko betima chance aka say me kwa elections no. Ninkobio. But as the party constitution stands now, Tinipakono omo resign we are, then what happens?
Because some of the opinions, I said your kind, when you took over the running of the party in 2022,
yes,
now we 2 years to the general elections. Sisia se mo wo ho train 4 years. Now that will take us to 2026. 2026, when fresh elections are held, then new executives bar. Almost just 2 years to the next elections, and that would make preparing well, sorting all these issues, polling station near the Adeno, difficult because we're 2 years.
You see, and then it's part of discussions in the reforms. I can tell you, say several people the proposals.
Any idea about
and make one some NPP.
Okay.
Obi to me say you per se you solve issues na wo ho ni yehu a em de say committee no eyo madwuma ye na ye soso yantas. Let us not be too emotional about issues na ho. Let's be a bit rational. Ni yantas say ye share issues na ewo ho no. What really caused our defeat? No ma be ni see and some American no cry na say no cry. Because at the end of the day, said the work kind. So you solve problems near Wohono. Now say example be at could be any then the powerful for crab issues no ha. The person will still inherit that the same problems. So that's why I believe say as to say could be a coalition so be renewed so we need it. Obi in draw cry. Yet in an entrance near ya says normal is see sa tsunami where you will be done. Is here. And the committee near Neduma Obia trans in Yokas as general secretary no near Sequoia ABCD as administrator. Why oh why Neduma son party for them. Obi said Osha 16 regions a war. Say regional officers,
yes,
your constituency officers. When you say Cassia assess party even from the regional level. So regions no as regional officers no constituent for assess they'll be able to tell you say oh maybe among the regional executive where the same thing for constituencies, the same thing for national. And then the party for near then able to take a decision because issues by as general secretary of the party. Obi no man na SME here as general secretary of the party no I don't think so I slept on my job because yes you agree them are now here and our cast general or prime minister why are there them here now here can go back to NPP acquire prime minister in Tokwana when album yanti presidential prime except for one incident in see northeast the 15 regions ni na we manage the processor yanti basabase bia the ewo one major challenge and before as a general secretary no say party no empo we are struggling to have what we refer to as communication app say juma cry ya ye cry no you put a system in place cry bit my council we didn't have it but I make sure say as general secretary brought it NPP as a party from 92 by primary do you know say any legal directorate
NPP as a party?
Yes.
But I'm a party lawyers. But I'm near director.
You were near Constitutional Legal Affairs Committee.
Okay.
At the national level.
Okay.
But by a chance, no. I say it legal director, lawyers, areas of lawyers or more assemble. You beat my former Maka. And now in some CUI constituency in your issue. I feel a bit was general go there come back Kenya. And it's part of the recommendations that you could make sure say Nina Beba. Say you no ma shegu e kwan be ne be fa so a e be hihye no ma ye Obi1 personally as general secretary and as a member of the New Patriotic Party, one of the things I will sponsor, and they say, your polling station structure, they say you review the because you see, it's the foundation of everything that we will do as a party. Because no man be better 2 years, na foundation there one. Me mama challenges. Kumawu, we struggled in Kumawu, we struggled in Ase North, we struggled in Ejusuno. Say mpechina kwa me nu I wouldn't want send power ba be di made no. Oba go through the same challenges no ABM in the 2028 or whatever elections that may come on.
It looks at a polling station structure. Now, you name some more 5 executives per polling station. It looks at a polling station structure. No, munya hu baby. And then I walk.
Obi. Issues are in nine. Ewo election when they say almost nipa 5 penny kotuaba. Parliamentary candidates, yes. Presidential candidates. It is some Komoko Cheska. And we sue Neska, we sue Neska, we are maybe, and I will sue Nebi, and it's hard. I'm not Monkwana Makoya dia, Monkwam Kotwaba in your campaign.
Yes.
Then 2. Sir Obu Okwa 1 T polling station. Now when polling station was some no executive. Son of my winning any idea. As a party going forward, no, as a shiny camasem. As a beam, sir, there's that argument, say, oh, Yembima, all Cadbury members, nya,
and Twabanibi, yes.
I have no problem with it. But again, you also have to be very cautious on how you
never come to the register.
Onto the register. The first proposal suggestion now, I also buy into it and say, Obi, you uncall for my former constituency executives from 92 Eba. And their party there, and they say, you be for former. You're for former, and one party no we. So Obi, so look where you cry from. And he said, you perceive a beer party now, you download to monocracy in our internal elections. Yes. And you say you call at far. At least you call for my former party constituency executives, or my former members of parliament, or former MMDCs, or former polling station executives, former electoral area coordinators, former constituency officers. Okay, can you now boom or motiasia from 92 by Pensamra, and no crown gives you an expansion. It is what
yes.
And no be moi. Near share so okay, you go for the anymore. Tia ready, now your voter register no so. There can also make sure modules to be in good standing. Then you come back to the polling station now issues no on. At least party no be a kind of polling station register. But no, you find this, you find serious find your juma. Take a polling station register near your juma. You say over polling station 1, 2, 3, 4. NPP 4 more register or more meetings. No more do 50, 60. And every 3 months beyond is the duty of the constituency. Say or more updates are register now at that one. You say what update register now? You better abana in say one constituency is possible so make as many as 10,000, 15,000 registered members or more. And no be any say oh your co meetings or bar meetings obi yenim no ewa ha or NPP no ho na we party membership cards amawa then you are guided. There's a processor the pakwane faso neso sorry ya so per party card no a party card amano decide then say ye hwe sa no mani nya. Then 2 another suggestion na be modeba to me. It's something maybe we can look at it, but I doubt whether we can implement it currently. Obi said the now national officers.
Yes.
The next time we better about 2026. There were some national officers are among coalitions beam. There were some regional officers are among coalitions beam. There were some constituency officers are among coalitions beam. Say nipa no on elections bi ma nimpo ni attitude towards and the motivation even towards the work no crown above from. And some people are of the opinion say the beya young wasted time no. Kayen to abani free national, Nembra region, Nembra constituency, and Sanabe police station. So that at least as early as possible, no, obey me our national officers even in 2025. So about 2025, they are going to supervise the regional elections. They are going to supervise the constituency elections
and the polling
station. To what 10 instead of starting from polling station Kosrono, what started from a show and at the back. Good question. Another point out almost a raise sa proposal way and we say at the frontier polling station tenure problems wo no do now is because of say we are driven by the fact say we want to influence people who become executives so that they will vote for us. But so all starting from a show near to Obama dada the national officer no on national elections bia and so Bible supervise regional elections now. That motivation no say be about compromise because of say be about election. The same thing trickles down to the polling station. Then there comes the question now besides and I ask us then who becomes the delegate or Makoyi Sankofon? I'm not really convinced by reason on my day, but say okay, the status quo is there. Say you say will be a regional officer, we a constituency officer. And decide there, the current Albon Newohono. Then going to 2020 now 2032, then the new ones on the next one. I don't know constitutional issues are maybe people will have to delve deep into it to see how feasible it will become. The only point I'm supporting is say, oh yeah, it may be 2 elections netem. MIA executives or many timer. Omit me a supervisor reforms because I don't think say we have to wait to 2026 before we get national officers. And at the same 2026 now so constitution is say oppositioner you can elect your flag bearer 2 years before the general elections. So I show ya over by constituency elections, by regional elections, by national elections, what's up by flag bearer elections. By the time I'll be we know issues about balance and ammonia. So I'm of the opinion say 2025 something of that sort has to happen. Say be say put a form one you clean now, we should clean it early. Say started from class a polling station election, we must try and fast track the process. I say be a by December day. Make the SAE no we have leadership from Ombo will have the ample time to continue the work. But I certainly agree with you. So I'm sure now you're trying the same issues at the it keep on repeating itself.
It will repeat again.
Also repeat again.
Yeah. The other thing I'm person booster, even before we come back to your reform proposals, you didn't come extensively about parliamentary elections and how Anioma Koi. One more question on parliamentary and then I come back to presidential. Sawasha constituencies these are traditional NPP constituencies. NPP we need these constituencies comfortably. One of them, Fadome Kwabena, even within Accra. I mean, the last election, a gap of close to 30,000. After just 4 years, that gap Nefruama NDC Ewini, and there are several of such constituencies across Ghana. Greater Accra again, Okaikwe South, Ehabebi Ayewe, Ayawaso Central. Okot Sekendi Takrade constituency says Sekendi, which is Kado Keten, largely comfortable constituencies for the NPP. For the party to lose those seats, are they just down to the internal challenges here, and as something external?
Obi, I think it's predominantly self-inflicted wounds.
Even for the safe constituencies.
Oh, yes. If we say nobody can convince me. Say in 2020 we won with 6,730,000.
Yes.
Over 730,000
yes.
votes.
That's in terms of the popular vote for the presidential. Okay.
Then in 2024, you lost with the vote of 4,657,000.
Yes.
Probably 2 million.
And Twaba.
You see,
that's for more analysis, no man Twaba.
At least there should be explanation.
Where are our votes?
Where are our votes? No, acquire. So amount two. So because when they compare Ira Mahama votes, Ira Mahama increase just about 100 or 200,000.
100,000, a little over 100,000.
Yes, and you can't say 2 million. No, because votes are when the 100 or 200,000 per count. Obi, the apathy in the party was unprecedented.
You believe the narrative say a apathy in the leading to results?
Oh yes.
OGD.
Oh yes.
As General Secretary, after looking at the numbers,
there's nothing a bit more convincing me say Abia Bibi Fufu Binesia. Our people just refuse to go and vote. And
would that not be a wrong way, knowing say no two elections are the same? In the elections, Biano started on a clean slate. 2020, yes, Akogu. 2024, we all started with 0, and Obia build it up.
It's Obi. Idea Obetima Kansadui in the swing constituencies.
Okay. Okay.
But before say best start elections, party be on the stronghold.
Yes.
And it will never change.
Yes.
Say be and say I had the voter the constituency ANDC stronghold.
Yes.
The only way NPP ebetime win or South constituency and say this funya beka so mokoto aba.
Okay.
You agree with me?
Yes.
Or Asqua. There's no way Asqua NDC ebetime win Asqua da. The only way NDC ebetime win say the votes are winya no. Ebi obenya 15,000. By NPP 20,000 omaka so mokoto aba. Obi oman koto aba, what does it tell you? It tells you say this be winning.
Yes.
And to check it, Dome Kwabenya constituency. She voter population. Now she voter population or more to abano. What I say? Say a voter population is 140,000. And now in 80% tenor say they be in yano. And you're 2 years NDC for winner. Then it should really give you a cause to worry. So on call for na koto, but tomato abaya de edietiao. But you can't tell me say voter population near 140,000, turn out to near 63%. Then because of 63%, it means say NDC winning constituency no. Yes, on paper, yes, we're winning. But in terms of reasons, the more winning, and they say NPP for no more one refused to vote, and I gave you the reasons why.
They refused to
go and vote. Internal party issues, government policies, apathy, disappointment. This are normal attitude of even government appointees, any even candidates, constituency officers, or beyond. You can enumerate so many points all together culminated in us losing certain seats, certain safe seats. Then now we are. In fact, I will feel shy to admit it on radio. A region like AF.
Yes.
AF traditionally has been voting for NPP. In Nimse, Omotomaye. AF from Tepa to Shidium Kwam, Obi, Makanwasem, Ekanwasem. We can yamiko, Obi naming ceremony. Obi Midua Simitras. So in a way, so I say it should be a lesson for your NPP and this which political party wa Bembia. Say never underrate or never underestimate your stronghold. Baby, I will not abandon free. Baby, I will not vote free. I will.
Also, we are deliberate in.
You see, elections now. Elections won't mean 100%. By the end of the day, no. Or policies as a government or policy be out the babyano should at the end of the day give you votes. Or money now here, obey a juma, but baby I will now vote free no. Say, oh, cha, and so show you. And to me do ask my catch almost I did this almost to TIA. Sorry to say it to her, but I told them. Because it didn't make sense to me, say from Tepa to sweet the crime. Yentimi anya sa kwan. Oko that places Ashanti region edwuma bi call so swami interchange.
In fact, more promise you more 5 interchanges, more intimi and you one impo.
You see,
you believe that it was a major issue?
Of course. It is not normal when you idea. It comes back to affect the party. Now Obi Sebi, General Secretary bit my complaining, yenye kwan, yenye say, yenye way, yanya obit my day.
But some can also explain that to me and say, then it be a party as I can do.
No question. Do say so when I sign contract now. So do say all the truth say because we do council say on kwan. You see, at times will be a make a comment say wait man yes wait man. Then the question I ask and say, what could you have done?
Yeah, your own executive
authority. Ghana for to Abama. Obi ma to Abama. Don't want to Abama. The dead na be. Obi one critical point. And no. Obi obey the debut of a council be a busan said Obi in 2023 national party national officer dodo na yene majority in parliament MPs dodo na we the view say your presidential primaries and your parliamentary primaries yantunentem.
Yes, I remember Sanko.
Okay, Sanko. Say, young tuning them say, Beya, we have ample time to do reconciliation. We have ample time to make sure, say, you beat my campaign. Because that time, this say, you are Mahama, in May. We made that strong point or argument, steering committee, NEC, National Council, NEC, Council, to the point, say, the Council of Elders, to justify why you say 20 July. I was strong advocate for it. Many MPs no. Yeah, that day you're calling in ano. You are forming a committee. No more down. Committee no call by your kind new seminar almost so there be almost chance to share November na yenye presidential primaries.
No.
You call Twaba, do nas November. Because na me at the country and me push say yan to them. Because Obi unim this year. In 2023, NDC era Mahama May, Electoral Commission, a voter registration exercise in October 2023. Assembly elections, a course December 19, 2023. So, because of said ye kaya do nan dia seminar antum, Kojena Secretary Koto do say. You have no choice than to work with the Dodo NEC at NEC and National Council. And now say young to presidential primaries no, young to parliamentary primaries no, in July na near proposal no. In August there limited registration exercise no. People were busily campaigning to become flag bearer and some also to become parliamentary candidates. Decide Unis Maneki here say ye debe cabo mama ya janko registration no. You couldn't achieve it.
Divided attention.
In fact, one of the reasons why Assembly election we perform poorly, they say, you to offer constituency primaries, no, 2nd December, and a year Assembly elections 19 December. Sabrano contestants no mujina, almost for the candidates from Kojina Assembly elections. Even certain members of parliament, you're 20 January. Sabrano, Kofua, Nankaso Mukojano, Naki Nipa Bakono, Omwache, because all their sponsor candidates, so Uncle Assembly elections. Muslim sponsor candidates include Assembly elections. So in a nutshell, we end up hurting ourselves.
Essentially, you went into this election with a lame horse. Horse no being the party, not party no going into this election.
Of course. Obi, see. And some people, bro, why be a meeting cannot. But no matter a course where I see a common for so that it will be a lesson for all of us. So sometimes, no, yeah, the issues be 2 tables. So, near raising red flag, near can once a man. It's not a question about be a loyalty to be a sitting president. That's a loyalty to be a Nipa will assume as way. And Sasma making, I'm saying it here because free say some me nessa me kan wasem say be e chine bi no party ni ko hia ni take decision say anomon say ya na e people will begin to look at the bigger picture but not individual interest. It's a normal way na na ade a e course a as a party no reforms are eba normal you sua say e BCB meti normal ye ni aye no
mo be hwe sa no
normal way na no
me other point JFK and on the presidential elections.
Yes.
I've read a lot of write-ups, some to the effect say the NPP as a political party had a certain identity. And the NPP was that party, at least in the Fourth Republic, and also more even antecedents, the UP and the idea. It was strategically positioned to target the intellectual class, more targeted the business community, traders, and I mean, so Obi a Ghana bebuna or aspirational as a human being. That was the party of choice, more like that's how I'm more position party. No, some have argued say the party no substantially departed from that identity, and the result is that some key public universities Mulusui for probably for the first time in the party's history and in the history of the Fourth Republic. The business community that united support Nemunya from Omono was not there. Traders were complaining, obviously because of the economic policies and in the fundamentally at the heart of my electoral defeat for the presidential the NPP identity are now a free ho. And then also the back we see more party executives than so. No?
You see, Obi party biano or ideology.
And I mean adding pose as part of the intellectual community, CSOs are traditionally now Bebrina are right thinking in nature, now almost supported the NPP cause and the ideology, and all of them probably rose up against
you. See, Obis, it comes back to the point where they can say party beyond own ideology.
Yes,
or the spirit the former party no GD and Kofo, and typical example is what you have given to, or what you have enumerated now. You see, it comes back to the point say Name Buana Yatotuya no Mai now 2028 you win the elections now, which mean say Yatotuya no Maria we win the elections now, and they say we should never forget as a party our history, our tradition, our ideology, our philosophy, which embodies us. As I'm not working, they say, ye tears ye who say, ye NPP form, ye party no, baby a ye free bano. Sebi, am ranting in my bawa, omoko suku. Nas a baby a tremuno, na sebi, kemimam kebi a mamuni wo. No money omo vita so say ye be hwe say aban na osi yesu no say boy kasa preko bi an kasa bi no ye be ka ya dwen party ye be kai say ebia party no say bi ankwankwa businessmen businesswomen omo ye omo adwuma omo na bu ama party ne bai ye be ka ho say party no association meet say Ghana Bar Association for ka ho Ghana Journalists Association for groups maybe several CSOs are work wasem omo nya ka ho na ebu anti ye no ma bia ye bia no we must make sure say we have them in mind. Nebwa say idea at a point Obi me call car dealers for me no omo kwotena si share bon komo tena abane de entuo monto say baby normal aban no be akoso aban we mu ene wo hwe baby a dollar na koduru bi ene wo hwe se bi ekoport ekoyi normal ban ho kire aye komi no de na ye boka ye ho kire bo nya abotre normal be yi ho kire bo mem as general secretary you go and explain obetuma church mu anu but say be the reality is still there. Mewa
yes
say be obi o tira ho a owo ahokyeremu no the first now wo dwene ho ne say e comedy no obenya aduane de obi opaka wiasma sem na cheche no maybe a person ka chirem the first say comedy ni pakron no be ka bia say bi enya asepa be bia ma no. And I perfectly agree with you, but why I also disagree with you say it come back to the same point. Who your party chairman, who your party general secretary, who your regional officer, the only thing you can do is to advocate. Say we can was say we in so we see and koso. But based on prevailing circumstances, the challenges are ban one. A bit my yeduma, a boy is into me yeduma. At the end of the day, it is a term about our budget.
Yes, and no, I agree, JFK. But Shani say, young funny say, because we say the executives of the party, more custodians of the party ideology, the party philosophy, and then more any power, more transfer into power. You became general secretary, only other executives, when the party was in power. You were handed, the party was handed over to you. Someone should manage it, and that includes maintaining and making sure the party ideology is up there. For example, a national youth organizer under you, or a national women's organizer under you. If party be attractive to the voting public, including all the voting blocks in our country, it cannot be the government, it's the party and the managers of the party. In the University of Ghana, not say TESCON, for example, you're attractive. It is the party.
You see, Obi, when the reign of change is against you,
yes,
no matter whatever strategy that you have, you will fail. Or when the enabling environment is not there, the conducive environment is not there to operate. Ideas be a will be a
Ejuma. Or man phone needs a feel good factor now.
Because the Pakwana said, or you to organize and now it's so called mobilizing cophone. 8 years or so in Ejuma. In such a person, Osman is so uncle mobilizing Quara. To the sense will be catch or say, oh, Okra also part to our bem. Only Ejuma. And Sandy Pakona Obi. But also in the park side parkona, will even have the motivation so bit master so catch so mobilizing for business community now or catch or say haircut nearby and affecting the Juma. Or catch or say Nejuma Egu
dollar Namanisika
and to know as national or regional constituency officer Obi, they been a bit smart to convince such a person. Tell me. And to see we're in a certain difficult situation and we face certain challenges. Abano ekwahochim. At least to be fair to the government. Enye boapa say aban better say dollar no bia enkoduru say ne say bia hoche say obi anu no ma esi o wiase ma fanya nyina, but we had to pay the price for it. And the party also suffered the consequences for it. Obi baby am no be adwin say and so we have to push in our reforms. They say in our constitution we must make sure we insert the constitution to make the party, particularly the national chairman of the party, to at all times be the leader of the party, whether there's a flag bearer or there's a president, there's whatever. That provision has to be there. That sense of authority say you are your president too, or your flag bearer, the leader of the new patriotic party is the chairman of the party. Those are the reforms, sir. I agree with you. Then two, until say as a party, because financially we are independent. Say South Africa.
Yes,
businesses are more random for sponsor. They can rub shoulders with the abandon so obey my account. Let's face reality also. So to now Nisika, no big car. He tells to control you.
Sure.
He tells to manipulate you. The best way to make sure say also will be at par. So also be next can be. Until 2 years a day nimna say if face as part of reforms as a back party say you mean making sure say the party is financially sound and independent. Thirdly, another area yes say issue about campaign team And yeah, can we respect to Dr. Bamia? It's not personal address to you for future elections. So, at every point in time, beyond the chairman of the campaign team should be the chairman of the party.
Monya Bibi Sada, it has never happened, right? In history.
Yes. Then every activity about the campaign normal Ebiano should be led by the party structure. Say but when it comes to mobilization, say the national organizer no campaign on the down. Whoever will come in there won't be any need say better be a campaign manager, you better be a campaign way operations way will be on finance, take a financer, the finance committee of the party no, and they say a dano, the chairperson of the finance committee become the chairperson of the campaign finance committee. Some of my way in any idea, you're no. Yes, to make sure say
but you've won elections without doing Sadia.
Sebi onoma shogo na wonshisha. If the side time na you win elections and the dynamics there was not as it is now. And the yeshe idea in such a way say in future biano issues and name to ye can wasem. It's not just for 2024 elections. Yes, to us beya at least at all points in time biano, it is the party that leads. And the rest follows. But
in the party, in the campaign team, my flag bearer announced, I saw in there the national chairman, now or a part of the advisory committee for the campaign.
Yes.
I saw in there a certain Justin Frimpong Kudia, I know in charge of logistics as general secretary of the party and operations. I saw in there a certain Henry Nanabuachi, I know a deputy director in charge of operations and logistics. Really, that was the party structure out there working.
Obi, the make can say as a party.
Yes.
In terms of structure, be as you said, advisory is different from being a chairman.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Say a better say say we campaign finance, we campaign logistics, we campaign biano. It must run with the party structure. With the structure. That's the point. Say manifesto.
Yes.
Right. One point I hear and say party manifesto. And then your opposition say no. In fact, in the coming weeks, no, any parliament be chance because party constitution article 14
yes.
We should have spokesperson for sectors committee
in parliament
who will be the spokesperson for the party.
Yes.
And in kwasi a trend say ye flag bearer and Sakrana as a party I manifesto. What you say? Flag bearer and Membrano, there are committees there or me in charge of ABA health, education.
More draft
bibua edawa ye say a bit my sedman. Ninya ya there reforms are say a bit me about party need me abua because Obi tell them can no maybe ha intimate video sonka. But for every point be a metia me make it be is based on normal me hu normal na me count normal me hu ya me free say ye in order to address certain issues no sanomary and there's a question. It is not done with any prejudice to any but for the interest of parties here my party najina ebia na me wo ebia na me ni ho e kina obi o bia n say na yet free say ya yeko ebeboa say we need 2028 crowd whoever becomes the president from our party no we understand say party no e was so
yes
and o she party
but when say invariably so no the flag bearer would always come after national executive elections. My bear flag bearer make campaign or yes even though party no I want to become president obviously on the ticket of the party by be me will be a comfortable working. I might not necessarily find a great working relationship with executives. I'm a baba betono me were campaign manager me one phobia. I think that's what more me I'll be comfortable to campaign and campaign well. You are saying say I cannot do that. I was saying me baby take the party structure and run with that. Can I even pick my campaign manager?
Obi, you must also understand say you are contesting on the ticket of a political party.
Sure, that's true. That's true.
And you now don't hook. How person do be independent candidate.
Yes.
So far as why would you say a party near do kono, the party must lead. And another question say, Ebia betimini where ye juma or pay where sem or pay was debi. Nesan party na shisha to one wa jatum. Obe sign undertaking so ba bejina as a flag bearer for the party.
For the party.
What you nyas? What you say?
Yes.
It is a you can say you take campaign team near in terms of ABA, you can say women mobilization, the National Women Organizer and a Dano, whoever you want to come and work under the National Women Organizer. So you can say ABA when you can chairman a Dano, whoever is coming to work under the chairman. So you can say ABA logistics, who is in charge of logistics, whether operations, whether treasure, or bar, but
and when you are looking at constitutional reforms in that direction,
there's
because and happen that, why do you think it can happen now?
Of course, we are learning lessons from what's happened in
previous
elections. Yes, say BBNC and Sanya Sabetina can say yes, for solutions to solve it. Sometimes, leader, you should be able to anticipate issues. A bit messy, they will prevent it.
And I think it's a fair point you raise, especially a parliament. And let me clarify, Sadi, when I trust with me other questions on Nansaya, my parliamentary leadership for the minority. Oh, sir. Oh, when they were the facha me and me man.
Why not doing so by punish?
Oh, that
opposition is sanity. Well, condition.
Anyways, okay. In Sinami Busa said, in more parliamentary leadership, Amoye and Ansayano. Yet, say, Moye, some per leader, minority leader, Eastern region, chief whip, Ashanti region, and people thought, say, okay, changes be beba only for the Ghanaian people to be told, say, and sign trust apart from some few changes. Now, considerations near then.
Obi for me. Obi, any kind. Oshe NPP, your constitutional,
yes,
Article 14. Article 14 2. Or say the election of the leader,
yes,
the deputy leader, the chief whip, the deputy chief whip of the parliamentary group shall be done by the National Council. What you say?
Okay.
And over 3 now, if I over 4, or say the National Council and the National Executive Committee shall respectively review each year the performance of the parliamentary leadership and spokespersons with a view to making appropriate changes where necessary.
Okay.
The constitution. Because as part of sad discussion, some of the MPs could raise or more standing orders be a parliament.
Yes.
Like so we say
caucus now
and no you're able to find a way around it. I'm be at here say it kind of there's no way caucus or more on their own. A bit markers a quatenasi, leaders. Because Sebi Obia caucus be a Obiano, a partner do coin. The partner do coin should even tell you, say, who take a decision be a baby, and the party has to be involved. What you say?
Yes.
Then 2. Mekaisa discussion started from even steering committee. The reason or the position of the majority of the people at National Council, and they said when it comes to leadership in Parliament, you can change them at any time. And maybe anywhere I say be a reporting say, and also leadership.
Yes.
Then 2, we share maybe a not party, no, that's a be a party in this year. There are co-elections about. We've suffered a very painful defeat. Our tempers are high, emotions are high, accusation and counter accusation flying left, right, center. And yenya botre na yentwen na ya assess what really happened in the elections than say yebekwa koka say bia omokwa kwose leadership in parliament then one hwe asako bring further division even in parliament ewo ho and decide dia yentwen na empo and this leadership no crown is possible say e be benya ministers e be benya certain appointment e be make changes because right now no position now one your opponent has the majority in parliament practically we now to do his business.
Sure.
Until we are back to 1997 era no until say your three boys near share leadership no and empo or more sector spokesperson in a year. But you can only do that when you know what your opponent is also presenting. And say by young rush now by this say be a leadership in certain position. Now but now opponents are quite different leadership do her maybe there's a mismatch in terms of edumon. Then you have to come back again. Now cyber leadership bill. In the wisdom of majority of the people at National Council and say to further notice until say part no by a point be on say okay. Sadia yes sound we do we about other people raise several questions. Caucuses need because a meeting a proposal as the buyer. Even certain friends crowd who are the same position. Tini na back and forth no and the National Council can say they will be until now. No more to a boss.
It was an interim arrangement.
It's an idea because constitution more to further notice a National Council now because say ABA yes semono.
They will be there.
They will be there. One issue back for me I will concede, and I think so I will agree with some members of parliament on raise the issue here. Position of second deputy whip.
Second deputy whip.
Yes.
Minority chief whip.
Minority whip. Second deputy minority whip.
Yes.
So the raise issue so me and Jerry Ahmed. I think our first time I think about Bisuane Sano man. So there has been precedent because Honorable Habib.
Yeah. No, first time.
First time I buy. So if Asia, we know Asia, there's something that is here, and it's a man will be here. But if going forward, there's that consensus, say ABA before say, Obet Mabe occupy leadership position.
Also at least
say be our parliament
110
or 210. Yeah, it's something that Asia do too. Then me kai say any MPC let ni share no. Honorable Damotri made a fantastic point, and I always remember that point. I say, as a party, we will meet, we will debate, we may disagree, but even when we disagree or we agree, a decision has to be made. And when the decision is made, there should be discipline. There's a party in Yibeshia, Yabechurch, Yadrin, Ubeka Senko Bonkum, Ubeka Senko Nifa, we are SC the signal, so be a shen also, not them than a yajma. I'm showing the force so say baby I be drusi say as a party no engineer yi yana monto ya kasemu ebi ano it will further deepen the cracks in the party or divide the party or it will unite the party this baby you know anamo ebetu no ya kasemu ya ne yemu ya suban mu bibi ebe ne say ida say be bo ma party no kan kono na nkabo makoso na say edichichimeba and obi I must tell you, sir, as General Secretary of the party, no, maybe I'm a TCC. No. In fact, my name is the BCH, but it's the most difficult period that me face here as General Secretary of the party.
And the reason is,
party elections are always elections.
In this fashion.
In this fashion, no. Psychologically, no crown. Idea what's our word dream home, party for dream home, before dream home, or dream. Even your next line of action, their partner say, come in a bit faster, I bet me pick ourselves up together.
Yes.
No, my Ben, say, and say, make some proposals and go 4 days by 7 go 4 days by a be encourage you, a be sweet, say, be sweet, do attempt, a be sweet, show my dream home. And see, many now, I always look up to God, say, baby, you know, Namina at the Cronti Abasi. Say, nipa no nte ase nyame hyehyɛ no eto betimi kɔ baabi wɔ ha obetena sa adwene wo sa abobu sa wo say no ma be nesi because I be asking myself enti how come say normal way na etimi see a course na ya bedu baabi a wo sisi but obi the me for video so I catch NPP for and say I understand them, I share their pain. Obia ya obia bufo ho omo asabi omo kasetia party mpeni for omo kasetia obia na omo accusation koso nyina no yes ya and a man for dek but ye nyina no ye wadwuma ani asede ese ye ne se e kwan be ne be fa so a in record time you betime heal your wounds na ya hwe e konkese asada ye nim 2028 ye nyina no yebo hu se normal way na see ankoye it cannot be perfect obi untimi ntase nka se o de obetnas no bibia akoso bia wonka ho from the former president Rekufado, the flag bearer Baumia, the running mate, national chairman, national officers, regional officers, constituency, polling station, electoral area, obia anya hwekwade seem to be obi ho no maybe obi ampa ba akumye no obi a wanya na ankoso but the esi na akoso emema no obi it will be unfair to say ebia era Akufado nkwa na me yeluso na say era Baumia nkwa na me yeluso na say ebia national officers nkwa na me yeluso problems were so many say ti anto ebo say ahwe issues esi ya ebia me kan from a polling station start here a polling station e course e kwan a ye hihye ye normal in fight na e course o party ni mu tripod da be enye adwuma government policies be amboye enkofo na e de omo kan na ntimi anye your stronghold be bia na se input adwuma kwa ye ntimi afo anko omo adwuma say ye enam sa banking sector clean up no sa no mani nya tama mani nya no ya nto eboas ne ye hu se when ye ya anye enti ye ko ye nim no let's have a blueprinter 2 minutes there NDC transfer 4 years so 80 whatever MP besaba but the most important thing say no maybe a see na no na anye da emanugwase eto ye no sa no mani kwase bisibio
ebi esibio but unim say no in as much as you want to see your party back in power no there are those who believe say current results about na the NPP almost now no has no stronghold properly so called because in the eastern region and second stronghold now you see NDC
we still have the majority.
You do but in terms of popular vote for presidential no NDC is doing around 47% and that's almost like a stronghold we at least in this election Ukosha Ashanti region for the first time NDC at Menya 7-8 seats in Ashanti region. That's massive. And in terms of popular vote for presidential, no, ultimately say gap no close eba. Ain't that should be a source of worry. And some will say, and if you question they will tell you say and another majority of the cabinet key cabinet ministerial positions, no. Maybe Asante for over CEOs of very good agencies Asante for the general secretary of the party Asantini and really what could anybody have done for Asante Santi omonya commensurate development the best among crying ama omatime atuaba mama.
You see Obi it comes back to the point na mekaya say politics now here you must understand where you get your votes and make them happy. As what Tia says, I am my sem and away. Am I a seminal? As someone who could be a unya votes if now you're watching. Obianwano. It answers questions I will Kenya because you see, we lost certain seats in Ashanti region, certain constituencies are wabon. Next time be a member analysis in our constituency by constituency voter population no the turnout I see or more tuaba or more man tuaba me no ka say voter register the GG constituency be there ya start a year because we had agents obi abetwa near taking you home format we are we are delving deep into why baby will be a metwaba. And normal my never figures na metina America. Obi within the last 1 month from December 7 to now. My year you more 4 or 5 constituencies are me on my own. Because now me tino me BS. Me say me finding out what really happened. You call for be or man twaba. Or man we call bincha. Ba abandon man too. No sister mansa yedenetia or call by or so to ababaye the shop or normal baby good shop in. Yes, to a bread and tis I delegate in the bra munchum. The reason Uncle Trabano Obi to all cast in the reasons are Bra Memetia, Milkwani, that chances are they be a traba mamosa, a quiet here, maybe a quiet foot and a boy, Munia Quano, and a banya cotuino, ya 2 cents and sachet. So people were hurt, people were angry. If not, maybe a course from internally party, no structure, I was a police station. A ban no so ne plus and man no so on so ne winning now. Today na idea influencing Kofua or Mama Kotraba. Obi say the discussion would have been totally different. Say can be a tour by Ria Mahama and 8 million. NPP na 4 million. And then on call for the both to the extent say the die hard NPP no. Etimenya kukudro se me nto abane de emma ma cross akwakoto ama opponent obi enne tete na wotun se asem na bia adu na me wo obi onkofo bi wo ha both NDC and NPP the NDC ni bo ha obi opaye ne den onto abama NPP da e plus your NPP ni bo ha obi opaye ne den onto abama NDC se NDC na de na ne bufu a the only your best on Kotraba. NPP ni ade man ne bufu a so be koto man this party on koto and no better than baby. It's no marriage indirectly it affects the party. It affects you. It will be immediate. Madam no see a side point or question be someone say. So far as I tear say Yankopon ba ya about to be cost now. Na me boa ne ba. Baby a nya votes free. I am out kunim as a party, as a government, no. Never underestimate and never underrate and underrate those constituencies. Because since we were here, as we said, you can say lose. You can say it will lose sense no. But we lost it because of a buffon or mere cost. And it goes beyond general secretary. It goes beyond national chairman. Obi Sebi, put yourself in my shoes. We are general secretary. Nipa 2 million someone to about obey them. Obi then I'll be police station about tone. Obi say more you never abon. Obi say Moktabam Kotuaban and Ado or Tina and Smart Abanevi. Obi to Kuma, a some Mokoto parliamentary primaries, a single Fuya Kocheska. Obiso a jiska oso enyes kanibi obiso oto dollar rate na amana dwumegu obiso of say DDP no amana dwuma say obi oto say ye to akoye adwuma contractor intwa meka 1 year intwa meka 2 years obi wo youth na for a station obi wo why sanitation model obi wo school feeding osi intwa neka onkoto aba obi regional secretary. What can you do?
Yeah, but the question will be, so the General Secretary, as at 2022, and party for to obey, these challenges were there. DDP was live. I mean, na NAPCO for complaining, youth and afforestation they complaining, but that executive team promised to win the elections.
You see, at the end of the day, issues now now become no. The bottom line is a solution. There are certain things that you can accuse me directly.
Yes.
Me better ha the secretary na me lose here party for a catcher say yem pese obokofo bi esi ekonso ya pese ekoto abane yi obi a obedi party nanim o disqualify ko for be bra mo engina obi ene I have control because me am share elections.
Yes.
Presidential primary say the course one year adwuma ye una one me lose voter registration resources as I say constituency no one fanko assembly elections resources and I say or the common one fanko me get a carrying secretary netiano busano to such extent say meetings nim and me making sure say logistics say constituency na say at the point get a be 1 month to the elections. When I saw say no mama one, I spent most of my time in Getakra. Resources I said the my constituency executives. Baby I identify issues no monko sorry monko share for monko share taxi drivers for her party for mbo for no monko kasa youth no munya monko say adwuma say ask them. Minya ya dia me trans ya me here. Baby am who say more than my office. Na me nam upper east, na me nam upper west, na me nam Bruno, me nam other places. Kajina secretary me call answer kwede. But I realized said that baby do the more thing. SMC from na me ye adwuma. Say bia obom call do say bia adwuma SMC ye as general secretary. Party constitution na kire me say me ye. Say me ntimi anya dia. It's totally different matter. And they come ham okra. But say there are certain things that obi. We do. The only thing you can do is to make comment, to advocate, and to come out and speak. But we are too many in crowd.
Like you spoke against reshuffle.
Like I spoke against the reshuffle for reshuffle. Like I spoke about appointees. Almost 2 years. So too many nations inside there. And then me twa and me you I see you are. Makofo we are be sure. But no maybe we have bemwa. Those are the hazards. Will be no maybe it affects you, no matter how detailed you become, no matter how you try to work and make sure say be normal are put in place. No, we are there. Our ban policies will always affect you.
JFK, me one very critical question. Busauba ansana no. Mamin kan ansana yama won adwuma any opportunities. Nkofo before.
Obi. And no say no many evidence or proof to admit say BBC in a course. But I didn't yet here. And if indeed BBC could course one, it tells you why a party baba to because me tia say obi a qualifier says so no opportunity be.
Yes.
Now when say baby I want a party no na ma wakotena now we jiniska obi sebi it simply doesn't make sense.
Asempa
so what to NPP ni obi here more free ho was we jiniska ansa na waboa no
sa reports ebi ba wanim
but unfortunately obi ntimi amba bonti ameka say mma kotwe ska ma so mesiwe and that's what be omo kanu say suru say omo body say bia me tweska mawe so ntema man ye din so betima account but e atete sem e course which okay. I believe say there will be some iota of truth bia na maybe a course sir and say nipako what there's one test be or car say or a polling station executive yes. Na obi kwajin say 10,000 school placement yeah. If it is sure say a bonnet a criminal offense. So be bet markers with this car as no bob. Yeah. Inside the park on obi. Oko catch and say young konyanko campaigner. On the chill. Ntinya your problems I make can say the course wa tebi a kutia. There will be car about Musa Dankwa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Polls, the exit polls. No.
May I disagree with him?
Exit polls. No.
Say what can say NPP say a car party.
Nkofo etoma nanado no. In 2016, they didn't vote this time around. Motoma ND.
You see, Sebi, 1 + 1 is 2. Osha voter register na wohona. Bebe 18 million sesebwa.
Yes.
And I Osha voter era Mahamenya 2020. All things be equal. Ka new registration a buy no. Probably almost 1,800,000 control.
Yes.
And so what over the nini now cry a Kaira Mahama votes one as a keep pushing to be about 7 million. And some votes never. That's the question Musa Dankwa said. Into a more register for front. Say 800,000. Fine. Because a woman also to Abana. Ka SAU Mahama vote, crowds NPP vote a question. It's a fact, say 2020. NPP na 6 million.
6.7. That's 2020.
2020.
Okay, 6.7 million. Yes.
It's a fact, say Mahama is near 6.2.
Sure.
And I can say a voter register and a swat before. A so a course. And so course, all things being equal, we are expecting to vote in there. A super course. And maybe you should come again and explain why 800,000 new registrants are for him. And an MPP side 2 million votes so for him. But to me, change what I met here. Because from the face of figures, I damn 2 million votes be a man to Aban. Say, can say 2 million votes no ever to Abana. Say, even if it's 40% of side 2 million to my Mahama, at least Mahama could more than 7 million. Until I disagree with him based on the fact that figures not there anymore. They can't say.
Okay.
Then, Obi raise the issue about say in the next campaign, no, the campaign national chairman should be the head of the campaign. No, officers say take charge. Then Nukwaso be in anybody ever support to me.
Yes.
Obi and so make can was
okay. I think in this
studio. You see, a normal make kai na no se kapati ni di adwuma obi be na kan baby etia. But oka na nkofo bi trivialize no HRC bi a omo ye ne personal. General secretary me nipa bako. Obi say okọ national council okọ state neck. Na do na so say na direction say na ekwa.
Yes.
We are bound by it. But say if the can say presidential primacy ekọ or your officer of the party from national, region and constituency, I strongly advise say don't come out to support any candidate because any day Baku be winning. Baku winning now. What could you any money for them? The person will not be comfortable to even work with you.
Yes.
Because I say, you call meeting. Boy, feed the meeting in Canada. Oh, you enjoy. Oh, you be able to about to be a home cancer. As or China, really? At the course. Say na ye nyina ye tena sin say anamon bia ye penifo bia ye bi 2 year amboy no ti ye gya tum say amboy a let's eat the humble pie ntia say ye no ye ni ye bia ye amboy different free for me kosoro nyina no ye ntu ye ho ni ehye ebiem ba kokwa do say information me dia trouble ntina ma kokwe you professor ma kokwe committee adwuma da bi say binyanse ne ba kofoti enye den a obi wo agefofo bia na mebu a maka ha bia na enka beka obi beka kra manka wa. Then last one here issue about baby any
yes
obi me constituency 3 times that constituency alone bibi any anyaso be kwai me ko 3 times. In fact ba ho kwa de me invite to mo kra mo ba headquarters trying to solve issues between chairman and parliamentary candidate. Constituency for him, region for him. Sab say be home, but near be share your party phobia. Ono be kasa old chen say we are we and mbwane me bufoni akoma ekoso. To be one of the reasons why Ilusu be any seat no. Internal wranglings.
Because it's a seat you've won.
We need 15,000, 20,000. Police station, I'm happy the person spoke about it. Because I'm confused, say, you are moving every register. FM. It was Twaba. But it is something I came to meet. Say, you are Twaba, you constituency officers. I came to meet them. I'm not telling my band to be sharing. I'm going to say, you are my friend. As I'm a count. At that point, I said I was going to look at it. But then again, Obi. Challenge and I'm one to say there were several constituencies I don't want the same issues. And so the moment I say okay, baby any be quiet.
Yes.
And you have to be quiet. Be quiet call Omabom. That means you could constituency be the water bomb. One sure you end up messing up even big time. And then now come back to the point and they say you do to me say yeah party ni ahye no mani ya obi Your man Ukrainian Juma. And that is what I've always stand for. And then I made a call parliamentary primaries a year Sembia. And I'm the call presidential primaries in Sembia. Oh, be a metia say. For me, as to next election, say make Jina, say me win, say me lose, say no, and then no me home. Because I know say if I contest a party for me mama. But my biggest issue the hear me say you better share party na say be ya from so be see with our polling station elections say course so a baby wo ha anado 3 am yes atoaba obi wo ha want to constituency wo cry say no delegate and polling station executive oko be polling station you can see youth organizer bi wo ha 65 years 70 years or youth organizer polling station
eno ye party ben.
Oh, it is
NPP.
Oh, NPP. And they know it. Me smart make communim. Console for the mafia yin. And say be ya chance ye ho bro. And I'm say be a position be a ye paint. It will come back to hunters. And they say na metal make kan wasema e bi di matem no. Me was so wo ka ho bi na kwes album na album no ene akoso ya ye penko for makoy audit ye nyankofo. Ye penko for makoy campaign makoy campaign. You should buy your head shame. So what can be? And you have been baby away. You have parliamentary primaries. Your MPs be a omane me yaka. Because they first say me campaign almost supporting me.
And also protect.
Let's say me protect to them. And you can't be the so contesting. But at the end of that first say, what might be so say me nya adwuma e beboa party no. Alfonso be see in 2020 be CBO. And to me, yeah, they met my young say be a minya obi, oko, and they be a resources kakra menya. Jennifer Kojina. But to say album in pass say album da ho. Say me kwase sa album. Because enko na omo album no, e bi adwan se so me 20 a. Obi e be met my side we. Ye kwato wie ya asundua ba ye to obi ayi a ya for position bi aban. Obi se kamanya kana metia no. Wan hwe ka questions a ho bebu sam no. Wan hwe ka interview nya be ye parliamentary primaries GFK ko ya wan ni and e me lusu seat no. But no ultimate kan chairman say parliamentary primaries ma nya ni bibi fofo de kan wasem sese. Etime de on behalf of the party from your former president Yoweri Akufo-Addo, the national chairman, your flag bearer you about me and nyina. To the many Ghanaians are no makuma deep party and no more domaye and mnantene mabawa 2016 2020 omo no more high hopes say omo ye adwuma boa party no party ni din kunim wi omanya ba bia gina. The many businessmen and women are across the country omo 2016 omo ton majapade omo do musika ye bi ma adopt the polling station omo boaye e do musika bae. The various lecturers are omo various campuses omo boaye a omo a research maaye e bi ko ye polling agents e de maaye. Many lawyers across the country at 2016 2020 omo nya no so much hope in ACBA ba omo nya bibie funu omo nya bibi no. On behalf of the party, we apologize and we are sorry. Sebi, I say party the GFK so too. So we have not been fair to certain people in 2016, in 2020. To many youth are them on high expectations say commitment be and now say 8 man show biano, a moment me show biano. We should eat the humble pie and admit say no more course buha and kuye. Contractors say be an essay trauma kayentin trauma. Omo a stronghold obi a na say timi ye kwan ye timi anyan wi. Schools are na say kitimi si, hospitals say timi ye timi anyan wi. We must say sorry to all these people, and as General Secretary of the party, I apologize on behalf of the party.
Do you agree, Tromoa, said this election and the result of free mobile, you know, a referendum on the performance of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo?
You see, Obi, for a binding performance, Sebi, I will stand everywhere and defend the record of Ejuma Waya. Sebi, Yoweri Akufo-Addo, a ba projects are member. If you come and come out pencil back, you can't buy projects away. Ultimate boy, member be your Akufo-Addo near film. Obi Kwaji too. See a chance you can't free senior high school they buy year of fools a can be blue start year project agenda 111 one constituency one ambulance some no money they need now cost we are forever grateful but politics and election goes beyond sa projects key among it is human management a kwanya be fa so ni pa betena onu be krokro no obama no hu sa ampa bia odre no ho we die ampa no woni enye tu anamon no bibi kura ba wotwase ono ye bom at hona you fail as a government we were unable to carry our base along we were unable at the point no sabi yenyina ye ditu as general secretary I'm even at fault year about 2000 erade kasa year about 2016 the battle is the loss at the point no, we lost how we forgot about how we even came to power. Now, no, I will lead this charge. My national chairman said, we need to reconcile with our God, As a party, there be a free buyer, a big Drew Simon. Yes, you come back, you call to the you call Bompire, say Boniface, yes, sir, Radis, Radin Kayon, said on my and Sasso 2000. On my and Sasso 2016, one son said no, because even Bible no kaka wasem. Or Bible no kwaka wasem. Say Obia so chance now we bonny, now konya mienu kwa kosena or the cho.
Ultimate bonny.
Yes, 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14. Or say if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven. Will forgive their sins and heal their land. I say, my man for my from so mumbra. So, on my brom was now, Omanu, no much more from Moboni and one. Many me meet you monka, if you try me. No message my so. And I can tell you, say, the battle is still the loss. And people rise up again. They bear CBN from so be a CBN. You better threatening now, 2028.
Let me ask me critical question because and I think Guy G captures that in the message. You see, Obi, the unapologetic Christian who feared Islamic takeover by Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and all the rich oil countries that were alleged to be supporting the DMB campaign. These mature and passionate NPP Christians did not open their mouth wide to talk about this issue. They only whispered it to fellow NPP ardent Christians. They had a secret agenda and they resolved to sleep at home and pray. Guy G were cantonment in Accra. And there is this argument about the role of religion in these elections. As General Secretary, having looked at the figures, do you think it was an issue in campaign number 1, the candidate you presented, and a voter?
You see, Obi, it puts me in a very uncomfortable position. If we say, man, Shemika say, yeah, me fish station.
Yes.
Na eduma me be nya na maseno issues about religion, tribe, people are very emotional and sometimes irrational about it. Ti onino message say mom yonko say part no ye wo committee ayati so montan senior pensim mu obi enyan komone nyina na ebetim da beto abonte.
Yes.
Nti se mo bibi ka fa ho a me committee ni betenase. They say me no committee no. But I don't think say we are the right forum say me the religion asem or tribe asem ebeba time komo we mu. And the message pa.
But say you presented a candidate, say Ghana for Ntwabama. That candidate has a tribe, that candidate has a religion. And why was the big deal?
Obi yefanto. Na yema committee nyo medjuma.
Enyo medjuma.
Yon komo bi say di no dem. And no come be a bit made now, but when they say Bibi cry, you can with them.
How do you assess more campaign, no? The presidential campaign you waged? I've heard people say now too much music and dancing than propagating a certain message. Okay, then if
you see, Obi, a baby original, and a mama with me and make his comment with one thing. I can confidently say, in terms of campaign, you are about me your campaign, Sierra Mahama.
Asempa FM.
You about me a campaign as you are Mahama Pa. The BSO could be a constituency piano coho or a campaign. But you see, elections goes beyond just one person and it be at the team or co run or co campaign. Because Empo or your campaign do dona or co constituency will be 60 communities.
Yes.
About 50 communities. About 200, a more 20 but at least of a city constituency. Actual campaign pano a former Jumadian. The retail campaign now SNP and next be rallies maybe you about me about a bishia suffer for you know so for bishoma constituency with me share suffer for you. What to me? Enti obi ka say nyum sa no I disagree no de obekọ form a obekọ obi fie ena akokasa no tie de obeka no one na kasa no to convincing no the retail campaign the house to house campaign any campaign and then now ka say yes NPP feel wo ha I agree mema msa so if say
no is it due to the campaign team or more operations and answer a party
because see a campaign party now because what did she share beba a typical example the Mao the voter audit now.
Yes
a year in your printing yeah the printing it amount 276 constituencies in your timeline that's so Monkoshe you who NPP form ha or more better obi any test me so tie was say no occupy school place imagine this
and you want to mean quite
so to me quite say adwuma in most cases I can say me how many be 80-90% o ma tima anya adwuma no ebi de da ebi kra tra mu fi ana mo a efa pen na ma tiki me show bi anima obi kwa kai ho o chima say pakazu obo ha ho ebi etima anya adwuma bebu okra mo ka che say enam parliamentary primaries na course no kranti omuntimi nko community okwa nko campaign
Asempa FM.
If the man for we say parliamentary primaries ebi ko jiska ebi ko yesi nti omuntimi nko kroma no kwa nka che me say ye ba be campaign a chiro ejuso constituency eju by election police station for ka che say jina yesem ma mo pen ba for from am ko campaign ko yentimi nko campaign say ko mbabu ye so that's the challenger you face as a party. But you see, campaign on any elections, Obi. It will be out to me who fact in the pan and say no man in Kuyi. And I say be at the point now me who you call some elections and moves a certain places here no. It raised the red flags. Hey, I did the bad because I'm my analysis in 2020 and why I data crack in Lucy constituency war. It was based on that trend. And they said see 2023 me am shame. But I said so no, let's continue to work. So then we are no through a be a oko baby a nipa mo ba be hia. Omo bo aje so, ono mbe kasa wie no. Oh, na ka me buofu. Na so oni aka dey mate ase. Oh, and to share baby at a point no, near share said you are no melko. Na Africa's economy no start epic. Obe kana growth rate na start baso, na inflation no e ba for na dollar na stabilize. So it will mislead you to think say things are getting better. In fact, the last point to cry here, commission of projects. Oh, at the point I know your commission project at this time. But again, no ocean interventions and do projects no oceans are fly over here or a Obichibilam to ho and the flower pot one and go for more for her. Even I had friends and I'm cast NPP for my son no more rain now. We are banned for quite the back or two. Obi, when you hear these comments, it will make you forget analysis be no in the past. What could you sue assembly elections? Register now one yeah. Am I met get a crab busasia collection? Me to Muguma Monamo year Juma a campaign cars Momo now Omokoba or Jenna said normal improve than said the net a year ago or 2 years. Yes, you know, Obio just said them church man ya three boy say you can no man factors in your boom no. Now me boy me so about March committee ni nyo madwuma omon call rounds enko hia omo nyina nkofo en church o madwenya no book om beba no be book kese a we will need to sit down ne pick bia one by one we ne see ye ya take ye hwe say be correct no we ne see ye ni kwase e messy me one line item ese ye to ebo ase no mo mbebe nyina se be nkofo be kan nyina no e be ye adwuma. Okay. Oh, now the equity committee going quite sense to be brave.
Sir, among four hard issues, this is a party. There is a perception around the party, say, and more opportunity for the youth to work. And there is this category of persons. Yet part no more experience on baby. Michael Quay, people had issues with him. Why would he be chairing a committee like this? Committee also more groundswork. Any other no? Why Michael Quay?
You see, Obi, the person said to some extent, I share their concerns. Michael Quay money painful they are the same because one comment and go we quite make here. I think I need to address that point. A blessing about one thing.
Yes.
Some people says listen here, former President Kufuor and then Gabi Munade listener Abre Patino. Please. In fact, I was very surprised in the podcast assembly. Obi between me and you. The only timer Ira Kufado or who listener was a steering committee.
Muko steering committee meeting.
It's not say bia you know could discuss it before the meeting or quite about me crampo. Yeah, I need listen myself national chairman. If national officers no crown and a panel and then no mushia you catch on say senior and a more suggestion so your foreign count you will feel. Asana your national council. Please. Yere Kufuor had no hand in the letter a buyer. A con said will be a co biaho. Why this list or why this committee? Obi, initially we were going to have two committees.
Yes.
First one was to look at constitutional amendment. Say yen share your party structure no. Oppositions be wa say your twaba. Position be say yin ko for free. SAB expand the party no SAD ofo be keka ho so any and some American about say amendment say chairman should be the leader of the party at all times ne manifesto committee ni say no many nyina more of academic work and pa kono adwuma on betan say aye as a committee and then you need people with predominant legal background to meet my side. And the thinking was we share Professor Michael Quay. Yaka NPP a constitution as a constitutional lecturer and a professor. He understands your party tradition no better than many of us. And he with experience or work with constitution, a constitution if I so by baby you at least it would be better for him to chair that constitutional committee. Over a bit to say era FF I constituency treasurer, I bear 3 times regional chairman, I bear national second vice, third vice, or party name. The cap party number customer, what you say. Here, my me a gift here, a former MP or Takwan Swayam, a former 4-time member of parliament. What the party now see in the party history now. And here they say, okay, one group. Then let's find another group the review of the 2024 election, the fact finding defeat election.
But the statement didn't draw those distinctions.
Say the teach mobile.
Okay.
And then no say obi oyaya Dr. Ona be koreba.
Yes.
And you try say also no. Young people for the academia. Omo sa research background now omo SIB independent omo too much involved in party day-to-day running say their campaign no they were exposed you cast omo cast because of their relationship with party for their campaign team no ultimately show nim kase bia ko bia yesi wo yesi sadia yen pen ko for do you say be NPP for but they belong to the academia or mo betima say adwuma and na be hwa say professors ne doctors ne sa no matenten a ebam and not a totally two distinct groups, the constitutional review and the election review. But then we also sat and realized that almost all rounds, no fact finding, no, there will be suggestion for amendment in the constitutional, which will border on the constitutional review.
Yes.
Say, you need time, you wasting, no. Sadia, we should have one committee.
Okay.
Say, they can compare notes, they can meet and discuss on issues with respect to constitutional review. Say, we have only one document. It will be the constitutional review and the fact finding committee and they see a cabo. To a cabo, the most senior person
and a bear chairperson.
Any era, Professor Michael Quay. So it does not necessarily mean say only the best answer because there are two different groups.
Okay.
But he is sharing a Juma groups in Yabeya or the fact finding member. What's your group now? Say a Damo and Professor Burton. They are young people. It's a mixture of experience, young people also, and gender balance also a woman and a woman forms our committee. Committee they started more clear terms of reference. I within 3 months so to me. Now see how much the baby Bible and and call for so can was which my draw my attention to say almost any email be out. People are not happy say email no in terms of security
okay.
My draw my attention said they should correct it. No Obi there are several fools. Obi any pen na the benya da Jacob committee no. Obu all time on it. But o adwenche bi obeso de boama committee ntimi ye adwuma. Obu okọ Ghana but adwuma o ye wonya time say obaba committee. Say obi aka so ye committee a na adwuma ko mu wie da. So the suggestion is you have several parallel channels and confirm betimi di omo suggestion, omo comments any omo ideas aba.
Yes.
Key among them and say they should have a link obu obetimi any documentation. No, what's near there? The document, no, what show, no, that common petition, or person, the baby, another common, any of the soft electronic system on baby. And apart from that, also, there were officers of the party, campaign to more year, you mean, say, Emposeka committee be a quenua as national party, as regional party, as constituency party, a coalition, you should write a report.
Yeah.
The renew cry, you should still write a report. Yeah. And to there, I said, officers of the party, you play a key role in the elections.
Be a report.
As a report. The yes, our level now. I say, Anna, ba and crown crowd. Various groups are or more boy volunteer groups or more year Juma.
Yes.
CSOs are or more. A soft friends say, market women, for foreign sanko for or more common change. They are going to do all those work. On my own segment, but Okasa would one say Obiambra 1-on-1 and better say and car. Reader. Until wow, I drink shape be up a sort of babyano. Various avenues who are waiting Nakuma committee. And on my zoning country, the country to 3 belts.
Okay.
The northern belt, the middle belt, and the southern belt. Tomorrow Chima, on my northern belt. And we also gave them that power and they said they can co-opt.
Okay.
So but my fan call for I become a boy man bit my year juma and see yen train shema or movie or module baby. But to be a wide in Chebiano, our offices are still open. What the baby back suggestion back, you can test me, you can be an mechanic. You be more in your account, in your year neither. Yes, you should say a bit my boy party.
But for you personally, what's next for you? In himself, we're a private legal practitioner. Of course, we're a politician, dear, but maybe so are we on the side. Are you going to focus on this?
New opposition today, I may.
It's our opposition. It's only a by mobile.
Oh, Obi. Hey, Obi, any kind of general secretary, full-time job.
Okay.
Oh, a bemoir. ebia cabinet meetings or we about cabinet meetings
Asempa FM
when the appointees ni be share sana mani nipo ana all positions were in fact running the party no is very difficult because no and I'm say yan share no my for various years and terminal I say you join the pekwanya you be fast so ebenya resources are e be share party at least officers are more headquarters region ne constituency and the party program ne activities e be until bu ha yes no office but it will be say me aso ya anko adwuma so betimi da abo ma party na koswa why not e normal betimi aye e da abo party no
but on him say me share message bi obi dey send me and I'm thinking whether to read it or not. Now, yeah, they are sorry. I say, Obi, during the NPP primaries, the big men of God intentionally met one of the candidates and asked him to try and win because in case he wins, they would campaign for the NPP on their pulpits. But in the case the other wins, they would openly campaign against the NPP on their pulpits. And they did just that. When Obama's opposing party saw Obama could win, they quickly stated that Obama was a Muslim, but Obama quickly showed his baptismal certificate. This is because Obama knew the negative effect of being a Muslim in a Christian-dominated country. Ghana cannot be exempted. Ohemin Ian Moore from Kumasi. And he again says George Kwatin in Adenta doesn't vote in Bantama constituency, but he is now a delegate in Bantama. His boss is also a delegate here. There are many others. Because Kwatin a delegate to Bantama.
Obi ene mentimenche. Ene menim benkra Bantama no say be a senator.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And Ian more information on. Anyways, ma yenhwe GS I was say yehwe na ye DCM re na echo. I know would have another interview and then as and when be necessary be science wedding komo bio. Ye da se papa and we wish you all the best. Ba se opportunity na ba se obi mpo suggest say national executive elections no and Kamunya in 2025 na muni times I'm back in 2026. It's something you would personally wish for, right?
In fact, I wish I bet my 2025.
Okay.
But
it will need amendment to the constitution.
2 ways.
Okay.
Whether we are still sticking with the bottom up.
Okay, and I say up down
approach. And you bet time but media ideally by end of
2025
the elections
okay
or need be a presidential and parliamentary not your three boys no because the next administration needs time say bit matter to no before the 2028 elections.
But would you contest again? On your opportunity to contest, how would you do it?
Obi never say never.
Original secretary said never say never. You are aligned. On any agreeing.
On the mina. Obi, I'm a party for Bekasa.
Okay.
And I don't fear any contest.
Okay.
Minim a Juma Mayo party. Minim a party for. NPP always reward hard work.
Okay.
And Komayo Koso, or let's say be a wasundafo. Also that from outie and some party for Naika from national, region and constituency, they know the decision they have to make. And they do also based on their party in the Bekan, party for penny for Bekan.
There is a push for former MPs to take over the running of the party because Omono and they cite what has happened with the NDC, national chairman, former MP, Asiedun Ketia, general secretary, former MP, women organizer, former MP, and they can hold their own against an overbearing executive. And Tiomunye be in the NPP.
But Asiedun Ketia, Oman Prime Minister go lose. Oman G2 Mr. Coalition and Oman leaders were NDC. And at the end of the day, NPP election competition is always there. Until do now obia or person obejina biano obetimi
whether formal MP
whether formal or non-formal was bibia and the fa e do a your party for no will make that decision say you sure position we when no call be boy we dey ni ko gina be boy ti say no man dey do ha but I think say a many now so oh some men restructuring the idea here pa say see ehwe na we to your no mai because say ya anya sa no man ye say dem kan na empo obi be di general secretary next time kana me no that the same issues na wo ha we'll come back again to say so me buy no problem see in the war at least you solve once and for say be ya obi obe say me on say pafufro no obetime nya at least a good foundation for the person to build upon.
Yeah but unim say edini bi amatete me wo sima mienu edini bi amatete no 2 or 3 of them are from the Ashanti region. I mean Mate Eugene Entry, Mate Henry Kwabena Kokofu, all former MPs, so many are interested in General Secretary. Clearly, who?
Yeah, Joe.
Isaac. In fact, all the 3 from Ashanti region. And it clearly, say mujina asonshia beba. No. And these are former MPs.
In my Ashanti region. In my Ashanti region. Ashanti doesn't disappoint.
I'm disappointed.
Ashanti know what they want and they know what they will do.
Winning hopes in Adoye. Also, Obi, tell him if he tries to run again, he will go with 12%. Hopson. Although when you bet 12%.
No,
it's not a member of the NPP.
Hopson Adoye the message about
I don't need to respond to him.
To Hopson.
Me responded to. On my content, I responded to. Obi, I don't have to say it on air.
Yes.
But you see, me.
Yes.
You know me buha. Obi a bit man baby. But umia di umia. What you say?
Yes. Oh, he was instrumental in your campaign, I think. And there was a message said Mubema Muni Alan Mubekasa as part of the healing process for them to come back and
no part in the decision.
Okay.
You see,
any individual decision.
Any individual decision. Part in the decision. Part in the transit. Na decision. There will be a free party. Or no, the ne pese or say babaka. Part in the penny for the better nation. Near who say be okay, but corner ba say no, I was saying, see me and I'm quiet, Masabe Bima. Why not? At least will be a pedodo, but at least though your opposition I here will be a better in year Juma. But at least party no so when you she say, oh, why I see a share. Now be a cost. To me, the message party for the say, in your stay focus. Yenya restructuring ye obi a opeso oboa ma party no say fa to my friend obi amboa obi obeso o che na adwen o criticizing bia so criticizing obi office normal enkoso yi a onim no obi should voice out na yenyina ye hu na ewie na hu sampa yenyina hye normal ama normal to ye. I mean that is what I believe in.
Very well. Generally, that's a papa. Yemreno, as 23 minutes after 7. Wow. Professor Ike Wallace is coming up next with
say be a party mistakes you impose candidates the elections were free and fair candidates for Najitum say resources by Obi said all kind of committee ayatia era Michael Krimodam say or more be probu further to find out what really happened. But on top of my head, one major challenger face your parliamentary candidates
no.
And they say in elections beyond it's either say presidential candidate no